Welcome to our Pitt Business Information Session. This presentation covers the academic programs, career services, student life, and global opportunities for the undergraduate business program at the University of Pittsburgh. My name is Lisa Cherok, and I'm Director of Admissions for the College of Business Administration. I encourage you to reach out to us with questions. You can use the chat feature on our website, call us, or email us. This contact information is easy to find on our website. With that said, I'm going to go ahead and get started with the presentation. At Pitt Business, we take students from the classroom to the city to the world. This is the idea that you're starting with that strong academic foundation in the classroom, but ultimately, through hands-on learning, you're moving from the classroom to the city to the world. So the presentation is organized into three sections: classroom, which talks about our academic programs; city, which covers career development and student life; and world, which covers our global programs. So I am going to go ahead and get started in the classroom. So the College of Business Administration is the Pitt Business undergraduate program. We have about 2,200 students in our undergraduate college, which makes us a mid-size undergraduate business program. I think we're the perfect size, large enough that we offer lots of programs and opportunities, but small enough that you can get to know your professors really well, your fellow students. There's a very nice sense of community in the school. Another important thing to know is that we are a point of entry at the University of Pittsburgh for both first year and transfer students. So if you decide that you're going to apply to Pitt, and we hope that you'll do that, when you fill out your Pitt admissions application, you indicate the College of Business Administration as the school you're applying to. We bring in about 350 first-year students and about 100 transfers from outside the university each year. And the degree that you earn in our program is the Bachelor of Science in Business Administration degree. So I want to say a couple of words about facilities. As a Pitt Business student, you'll do about a half to two-thirds of your courses in business, depending on your particular academic program. But you will also take more general classes at the university. So you'll take things like English composition, prereqs in calculus, micro and macroeconomics, and also general education requirements in a variety of areas. Those more general classes you'll have in a variety of buildings around campus. Some of them you'll see on the campus tour if you visit us in person. But your business classes, your business activities, programming, those things will tend to be in these two facilities. So I'm just going to say a couple of words about each. The photo that you see on the top is Mervis Hall. In Mervis, we have 10 fully equipped classrooms. We have the offices for our business faculty. We have our finance lab up on the second floor. We have a really nice cafe, the Bottom Line Bistro, on the lower level, and the Pitt Business Admissions office is in Mervis as well. The other facility where you'll spend a lot of time is Senate Square. It's about a block from Mervis. In Senate, we have 6 fully equipped classrooms and our student services offices. So Pitt Business Academic Advising, our Career Development Center, and our Global Experiences office. At Pitt Business, we offer 8 majors. They are in accounting, business analytics, business information systems, finance, global management, human resources management, marketing, and supply chain. 2 things to know about the majors. One is that it's really common for students to double major in 2 areas of business. There are a lot of great combinations, and with good planning, you can do that in a 4-year time frame. The other thing to know about the majors is that even though you can be our student from day one, start taking those business classes right away, we're not going to ask you to pick your particular major in business until the end of your sophomore year. So you've really got 2 good years to figure out what you like best, what you're best at. When you join us, you do begin taking core business classes right away. The core business curriculum, that's the part of our program that is more general in orientation. It's the coursework that everybody does. It's kind of that well-rounded foundation in business. What the core also does for you, though, is introduce you to all of the places where you could potentially major. So simply by taking the business classes you need to take anyway, in your first and second year, you're going to get a really great intro to all of these areas where you could potentially major, and again, make that choice in an informed way at the end of your sophomore year. Also, we offer 6 business certificates. They are in business analytics, innovation and entrepreneurship, international business, leadership and ethics, supply chain, and sports management. A certificate is like a minor in terms of the number of courses. These are typically about 5 courses each, but certificates tend to be a little more interdisciplinary. They're not just courses in one particular department, but they are created around particular themes. And so they may pull courses from different areas in order to create the program around those themes. Do you have to do a certificate? You don't. They're optional. But I will say that lots of our business students will incorporate a certificate or two as part of their business program. In addition, I always do like to mention that business students at Pitt have the freedom and flexibility to study, to pull in other areas of interest that they might have as part of their business program to really kind of take advantage of the wealth of offerings at the University of Pittsburgh as a whole. The most user-friendly, the easiest way to do this is through Pitt-wide minors and certificates. There are about 30 of each. You have full access to them as business students. And again, lots of great combinations. So for example, you might see a finance major minoring in economics. You might see a global management major doing a minor in a foreign language. You might see a business information systems major doing a minor in computer science. You might see a marketing major doing a certificate in communications, digital media, or professional writing. Lots of great combinations. And everything that I've mentioned so far can be done with good planning in a 4-year time frame. Last thing I'm going to mention, not necessarily double degree. Double degree is an option that a relatively small number of students pursue, but I do like to mention it because I think it works really well for the students who choose it. Double degree means you get 2 degrees. You earn 2 different University of Pittsburgh degrees simultaneously. And so a student choosing this option would earn a full degree and major in the College of Business Administration alongside a full degree and major from either the Dietrich School of Arts and Sciences, where there are about 60 liberal arts majors available, or the Pitt School of Computing and Information. These are the 2 colleges where we have this particular partnership. This is a 150 credit option, so technically 1 additional year. But in my years here at Pitt, when the students that I've seen often choosing double degree are oftentimes people who come in with a lot of AP, IB, dual enrollment credit, and they're doing it in 4.5 years. Again, just an option that you can consider. So I've thrown a lot of options at you very quickly. That is a great time to segue into academic advising. We offer excellent academic advising here at Pitt Business. The way that it works is when you join us, and we hope you will be paired with a full-time Pitt Business academic advisor who's your advisor, who will stay with you throughout your program and will really get to know you, get to know your interests and goals. So your advisor is by your side, helping you to put it all together so that you're being effective and efficient with your course choices, you're planning strategically, so that you are truly making the most of not only the wealth of opportunities here at Pitt Business, but at the University of Pittsburgh as a whole. And as a Pitt Business student, you are required to meet with your academic advisor at least twice a year for about an hour each time, where you're really doing a pretty intense planning meeting. But you can interact with your academic advisor as much as you'd like to. Of course, I also want to mention our faculty. One of the many nice things about our faculty is that the same professors who teach in our MBA, MS, doctoral, and executive programs teach you at the undergraduate level. So you are working with a world-class graduate level business faculty where professors are truly experts in their respective fields. We also enjoy some nice rankings and reputation here at Pitt Business, currently ranked number 23 among public undergraduate business programs in U.S. News and World Report, and number 12 among publics in Poets and Quants. Finally, in this section, I do want to just say a few words about the way your business classes will operate. So it's obviously very important that our students master business knowledge in theory, but we believe it's equally important that you have the opportunity to put those things into practice. So you'll find that your business coursework includes a lot of hands-on projects, presentations, group work, case analysis. We offer classes that are 100% project-based. You will likely have classes where your professor is bringing a real project with a real company into your class as one of your assignments. So you might find yourself working with PNC or Dick's Sporting Goods or American Eagle Outfitters on a real project or problem where you and your teammates are presenting to leadership at that organization. You're gaining those contacts, that experience, that confidence. We do believe that one of our great areas of distinction at Pitt Business is our ability to connect you to those real experiences in business. Also, while we're on this slide, I do like to put in a plug for our finance lab. This is our classroom that operates like a trading floor, where you get hands-on experience with the tools and technology used in the capital markets industry. It is a 58-seat classroom. So if you join us and you're a finance major, you're very likely to have some of your upper level classes in the finance lab. In addition, we have several student organizations that are investment oriented, such as Smart Women's Securities, Panther Equity, where students are managing real funds. They use the resources of the lab as well. Okay, so that was the first leg of the journey. Two more to go. The second leg of the journey is to the city. We believe that Pittsburgh is one of our greatest advantages. Pittsburgh is really the best of both worlds. It's a real city, a large city where you have access to all the amenities and opportunities that you associate with being in a city, such as culture, dining, shopping, great neighborhoods, great sports teams, entertainment. So you have all of that, but Pittsburgh is neighborhood oriented. It's friendly, it's accessible, it's affordable. Pittsburgh has been named the most livable city in the US 6 different times. We're getting accolades for all kinds of things, largely around quality of life. We have fantastic quality of life here in Pittsburgh, but also opportunity. In fact, the Wall Street Journal recently featured Pittsburgh as one of 3 top cities for new college graduates. So Pittsburgh is a great place to live. It's a great place to be a student. And for business students, it really has that added advantage of a large business community 2.5 miles away, really a 6-7 minute bus ride down Fifth Avenue to get into our downtown area. And so you have this business community at your fingertips where you can network and intern, make all those valuable connections. And so this part of the presentation is really about how we leverage our location, our connections to provide you with excellent professional development opportunities. And it's our goal that our students will develop both professionally and academically simultaneously from day one in this program. And that really does take place. And so, of course, I do want to highlight our Pitt Business Career Development Center. Our students at Pitt Business have the best of both worlds when it comes to career services. So as a University of Pittsburgh student, you have full access to University of Pittsburgh career services and their resources, opportunities, connections, the Pitt Alumni Network, really vast. So you have all of that. But as a Pitt Business student, you have exclusive access to our Pitt Business Career Development Center. And we're full service. So we work with you on your resume development, interviewing and networking skills. We do individual career coaching. We have a full staff team complemented by about 13 executives and residents. And this is a really unique resource. So our executives and residents are professionals who've made it to the top level of their profession or industry. They're on our team. They meet with students individually. They run programming. They are all about helping you learn about and connect in particular industries that might be of interest to you. We also work a lot with our alums. So both through Alumni Connect, our Alumni in Residence program, you have the opportunity to sign up to be mentored by a graduate of our program in your field of interest. And of course, we have our Handshake portal online where you can look for internships, full-time positions. You can sign up for events. You can upload your resume to be reviewed by recruiters. Internships Really big part of what we do. Nearly all of our students will complete at least one internship prior to graduation. Most of our students will do multiple. We work with over 650 different companies, and our location is a real advantage for internships. So once you're our student, the expectation really is that you're going to be doing internships in the summers between your years with us. But, I've seen lots of upper class students intern also, part-time during the academic year for a few hours a week, maybe continuing on with an internship relationship that they made over the summer, or maybe they're doing something new. So you really can, because of our location, get a lot of great internship experience. We do a tremendous amount of programming throughout the year to help our students connect with great internship opportunities, programs like our career conference in the fall, our job and internship fair in the spring. These are large programs where we bring in lots of companies at one time to interact with our students. But another advantage of our location is that we really pretty much on a weekly basis during the academic year have companies on site in Pitt Business. Maybe they're doing an information session in the evening. Often they're tabling in our atrium. So, you may find there's a time when you're walking to class and you see a company that you're really interested in tabling outside your classroom, and you can walk up to that recruiter, ask a question, make that connection. We really do, believe again in this back and forth with the business community as being one of the great advantages of our program. We run lots of networking events, and we take networking trips to cities of interest such as New York and DC and Philly, where our students will attend corporate site visits during the day and network with our alums in the area in the evening. Also, I want to mention our co-curricular programs because these are kind of unique. These are not credit bearing. They're not worth credit. They're just opportunities that you sign up for as part of our Career Development Center's, offerings. So I'm just going to give you a few examples of them. One is our professional academies. These are generally semester-long programs. They tend to meet weekly, but what they do is allow you to gain experience and exposure in particular industries that might be of interest to you. And so we're currently offering academies in music and entertainment, sports, consulting, sales, real estate finance, and project management. We also have some really unique opportunities for you to gain real professional certifications that are recognized in the marketplace, but that you can do this while you're a student with us. So for example, if you sign up for the Digital Marketing Institute, you'll work on professional certification in Google Ads and also search engine optimization. If you do the Analytics Institute, you're working with advanced Excel skills and towards Tableau desktop certification. If you do our Project Management Academy, you're working towards level 1 Scrum Project Management certification. Also, final example, a little bit different. I want to mention our FinTech Lab, which is supervised by one of our executives in residence in the finance area. These are micro internships where you're working on consulting projects for FinTech organizations. This is just a small sampling of those over 650 different companies that we work with. This is a group we see pretty frequently for internships, full-time positions. Some of these organizations are in our corporate partners program. And our students consistently, year after year, do really well finding jobs after graduation. So, we're currently at a 96% placement rate. Really, within 3 months of graduation, we'll probably go up a percentage point or two by that standard of 6 months out, and a really healthy starting salary. Okay, last two things in this section that we're going to finish up strong with our global opportunities. I do want to mention our business student organizations. These are a fantastic resource for our students. At any given time, we have about 30 up and operating. These groups are great because they're all about networking, professional development, leadership development. There's something for every major. We have a variety of industries represented. We have co-ed professional business fraternities. We have Phi Beta Lambda, which is the collegiate version of FBLA, which some of you may have in your high school. And we have really active affinity groups, such as the Roberto Clemente Minority Business Association, Women in Business. Those are two of our largest, most active student organizations. These groups are all about helping you advance on the professional development side. And many of our students will, get involved with one of these, one or two of these groups actively. And it's very common for students to do this almost right away upon joining us at Pitt Business. These groups have a lot of benefit, and we do find that students who are actively involved in our business student organizations do better finding jobs after graduation than those students who don't get involved. And then finally, I want to mention our Pitt Business Living Learning Community. This is a residence hall option. It is the option that you have to live your first year in a residence hall, Bruce Hall, with other Pitt Business students. Do you have to do this? You don't. It's an option in any year. About half of our first years will choose to live in Bruce Hall. We have about 170 beds in the dorm and about 350 students in our first year class. So about half choosing to participate. There are certainly advantages to living in Bruce. It's great from an academic perspective because you're surrounded by people taking similar classes. So really easy to form study groups, to get together in groups, on business projects that you'll need to do. There's a lot of special programming, whether it's social, professional development, academically oriented. One of the things that we do year after year is during Welcome Week, we take our students who live in Bruce on tours, site visits of companies here in Pittsburgh. So, you haven't even set foot in a classroom yet, and you are already making connections and getting a behind the scene tour of organizations here in Pittsburgh. So there are lots of advantages that way. The residence hall is, really centrally located on campus. This is a photo of one of our first year students, their room in Bruce. And while we can't guarantee the specific view, it does give you an example of where we are on campus. Steps away from the Cathedral of Learning, right next to the William Pitt Union, steps away from sort of the major dining hall on campus, and steps away from your classroom buildings. So, very centrally located. The other thing that's really nice about Bruce is it's really nice housing. It's suite style. So 4-person and 6-person suites. So you have your double room with your roommate, but it opens onto a common living area with kitchenette, ensuite bathrooms, very, very nice housing. So if this is something that appeals to you, make a note of it. You would apply for the Pitt Business Living Learning Community. Once you decide to join us, you would apply for it as part of the housing process. Okay, so final leg of the journey to the world. We're all about global here at Pitt Business. About 40% of our students will graduate, will study abroad at least once prior to graduation. It's a really popular thing for our students to do. That's many times the national average. First of all, University of Pittsburgh has a large, well-organized global experiences office. Pitt can get you to over 75 different countries. Programs come in all shapes and sizes. So, you could study abroad for a semester, a month, 2 weeks, 1 week, spring break, full year, lots and lots of choices and lots of locations. Lots of our Pitt Business students do take advantage of Pitt-wide Panther study abroad programs. However, what I want to just take a couple of minutes to do here is just to show you a couple of our business specific examples. So again, best of both worlds, we do have our own global experiences office right here in Pitt Business. Our staff team is responsible for developing and running global experiences that are of interest to business students in particular. So I'm just going to hit the tip of the iceberg, but I do want to give you a couple of examples of some of our more popular programs. The first one is +3. +3 is called +3 because you earn 3 credits for it if you do this program. It is an optional 2-week trip abroad at the end of your first year. You go with a faculty member, a staff member, typically about 20 students in a group. And what you're doing while you're abroad is studying the supply chain of a particular industry in that country through corporate site visits, but you're also doing sightseeing, cultural activities. This is a really great program. It's a great program overall, but it's a really great program for students who maybe don't have a lot of international experience. You don't have to speak the language. The whole program is organized for you. You go with the group of people that you get to know really well. Your faculty member will typically hold a number of pre-departure meetings before you go, where you'll, become acquainted, with the cultural aspects of the country. You will get to know your group. And so it is a really nice program socially as well, because when you travel with people 24/7 for 2 weeks, you make really good friends. So, and all of the locations are industry based. So, for example, if you go to Costa Rica, you're studying the supply chain of the coffee industry. South Korea is smart systems. Ecuador is flowers and chocolate. Argentina is healthcare management. Vietnam is globalization and development. Cyprus is global industries. And the Netherlands is product development. We also have a +3 location for transfers and upper class students, where you're going to study the automotive industry in Germany. So that is a very popular program. Equally popular is our Global Business Institute. These are semester and summer-long programs where you take a full complement of classes. But what's unique about this program as well is that if you'd like to, you can choose to do a part-time international internship. It's guaranteed, and it will count as one of your classes. We have separate locations for GBI. They are in London, Florence, Sydney, and Shanghai. Another option is our full-time summer international internship program. This is more intense than what you're going to get on that part-time international internship program through GBI, because you're basically living and working abroad for a summer. So it tends to appeal to students who are really very interested in a global career. We have great companies lined up and locations in Berlin, Dublin, Madrid, Paris, and Prague. And then finally, if you're intrigued by global opportunities, but you're not sure you really want to go for any length of time, Pitt offers tons of short-term programs. A few examples that are more business specific. We have our global service learning courses, which tend to run spring semester. And in these courses, you and your classmates are working on a project for an international organization. And what happens is that during spring break, which is in the midst of spring semester, it's about 10 days in March, you and your class will go abroad to meet the organization you're working with, to conduct research, perhaps to put some aspects of your project into place. So these service learning courses give you great hands-on experience, and they incorporate an international travel experience. Another example is really different. We have our Leadership in the Himalayas program, which is a 4-week program where you're going through an intense trek and leadership training opportunity. That's kind of different. We also have tons of great summer options. So the Pitt academic calendar gets out at the end of April. We get out a little bit early, and something that's really nice about that is that if you'd like to incorporate a summer study abroad experience, you can really do that in the month of May. Get home in early June, really about the same time as your friends at other colleges are getting home. So you've already pulled in a sort of early summer study abroad experience, which can be, just a fantastic thing to do. And then just to conclude, I'll say that, this idea of to the world does extend beyond graduation. We have an incredible worldwide Pitt Business alumni network. Our grads are really eager to reach back, help our current students make connections, to act as mentors, to offer advice. And our grads are really finding lots of success throughout the US, all around the world. And we believe that the success of our graduates is truly based on the pairing of the very strong academic programs in combination with all of the hands-on learning. Again, this idea of from the classroom to the city to the world. And at this point, we'll conclude the information session. Thank you for joining us today. We encourage you to reach out to us using the contact information here and on our website, and also to check us out on social media. So thanks again, and hail to Pitt.